Okay, so good afternoon, YouTube. In this video, I'm going to explain you how to become successful and how Hajime no Ippo has motivated me. So, the step number one that you need to do is you should actually find out that something you want to do. That's something that isn't like a burden for you. You don't feel a burden doing it, even though it gets difficult at times. You feel like doing it. Uh, it can be anything. It can be playing music. It can be um, playing a video game. It can be even going out for a jog, going to gym, going and playing a sport, etc., etc. It can be anything. It can even be painting the wall. You have to find this something that you actually want to do. Just keep doing this, and I'll be known as a YouTuber or a person that posts on Instagram to help people out. This is not something that gets certified for, or this is not something I get a degree on. But if you people are on it, like you get a special certificate for this, or if you get a special medal for this, it can even be a power lifter, it can be a bodybuilder, it can be uh, anything. First thing is find something that you love to do. That's the first thing you have to. Step number two is keep a deadline. Deadline can be anything. If you are playing football, let's take a deadline as um, dribbling the ball from point A to point B in 10 seconds. Now you're taking time for 50 to 70 seconds. Keep dribbling the ball, keep that deadline, and keep practicing till you do it till 10 seconds. That can be a deadline. And for me, it can be losing weight. Uh, for example, if I'm at 76, I want to be at 69.9. I'll keep 6 to 14 weeks target, and that 14th week I have to be there. It's a deadline. When you have a deadline, you keep certain amount of effort on a regular basis, and when you keep on applying that effort on a regular basis, you know that you're working hard. Deadline is just a date or time by when which you want something you want to do to be completed. And if your deadline is a bit difficult, like it takes longer time to achieve, then keep small goals. Like if I wanted to be from 76 to 69, I'll be like by next week I'll be till 75.5. After that week I'll be at 75. Like that slowly I'll get to from that small half to 1 kg I'll go to 69. Um, the same way it can be anything. It can be throwing a ball. You're throwing a ball from point A to 20 meters. You want to throw it at 85 meters. By next week, I'll throw it at 35 meters. After that week, I should be able to throw it at least 40 meters. By that certain deadline, you'll be able to throw it at 80 meters, how much ever distance you want. Discipline is something that will make you do it in a habitual and controlled way. Um, See, motivation, you're motivated to do something for a certain period of time, but discipline makes you do it. I explained about discipline in one of my Instagram captions.
Okay, so this is the thing that I told about discipline in one of my Instagram posts. The area that extends from the part of my chest is pectoralis major. First, I explained about the pose I am that making coming out of that room and the way in which I am standing and looking almost at 10 to 15% body fat, 10 to 14, 10 to 13, approx 10 to 13. It can be till 14% and 9 to 13 or 14% body fat. The area that extends at upper part of my chest is pectoralis major. This area is pectoralis major, and from the middle it has ribs that are known as sternum, inserting into the scapula, and here it is pectoralis minor. And beside above region is my anterior deltoid shoulder muscle. I have explained this, and the difference between wanting to reach your goal or achieving your goal is not motivation. Motivation is something that's temporary. Like for a certain period of time, we watch a guy that's working out or doing some certain task, and we are motivated to do that thing for a certain period of time. It can be that guy reading stories, it can be watching pictures of that person doing that activity, it can be of that guy playing music, you're motivated to play music, it can be anything. It can be anything, it can be even that guy making animation, we are motivated to make an animation. It's temporary. But what will actually make us do that certain thing every single day is, are we acting according to our goal and putting that effort for a certain period of time in that certain activity that we want to do. If we keep that certain amount of activity in our goal or anything that we want to do, we are sure that we are going to work on that thing every single day, applying, keeping a certain amount of effort that we need to. It may be getting a better physique, in understanding a topic, to score better, to run faster, to improve our lifts, to get better at dieting. It can be anything. In workout studies, that's how we will continue to get better, and that's how we need to keep doing it, and it has to be like that forever. Another thing I mentioned is about not giving up. We should not give up in anything that we are doing. We have to work hard for everything. One day we'll get where we want to be. Let me tell you guys my story on my history on not giving up. We have to know the guy who doesn't give up. He knows how much we should do, and he keeps on standing back up and doing it. Like he doesn't see it as an option, he sees it as a ladder to climb and to reach where he wants to be. 6th or 10th class without diet, I didn't get good results. But not giving up means we keep on doing it, even when we win or we do not win, so that we get better at that certain thing. But I still kept on working out every day. After 10th board exams, I got to know about diet, and I got faster, stronger, bigger. Since then, we don't get results. Almost everyone stops us while doing it when we don't get results. But I still did it. Those phases of failure, when you learn how to do it or where you are lagging to improve, even when I tried to understand a subject when in sixth, I didn't understand the subject, I cried, but I studied the subject. That's where you get to know where to improve. But just like as your muscle keeps on getting stronger and bigger through training and good diet, as time passes, we keep up the hard work, and similarly, we'll be able to understand that subject more better. And I explained over the pose I'm standing and some interesting thing that I've included in this to make my caption unique.
Give up thing, discipline thing, all these things are going to make you like keep doing it. But the most important thing that needs to be there while you're doing that certain thing is mental toughness. What mental toughness does is it makes you push through that. A very good example of mental toughness is David Goggins. He tells that he had that voice inside him. He is fat and he has to get up and do something about it. So this is something that we need to have. It's like compulsory thing because mental toughness is something that's going to make us push through what we are doing. See, no matter how smart we are, if we don't study, we are not going to score well. No matter how good our genetics are, if we sit down and just go to that play or perform that certain exercise suddenly by just doing time pass, it's not going to work. Mental toughness is make you push through the hard times and make you do that certain thing. I'm telling a very good example of this is David Goggins because he had to run a certain amount of miles for his Navy SEALs test and something happened to his knee in between and he took duct tape and wrapped it around his knee and he still kept on running. Another person I'm going to give you an example is Greg Doucette. What Greg Doucette did was he also was running a 5 mile run and he uh, David Goggins is another example, and Greg Doucette also did the same thing. When he had to run a 5 mile run, he also something happened to his knee, and he kept duct tape. He wrapped it around his knee, and he kept on running. It even happened to me something like I wasn't able to go properly after running a certain time, but I still pushed myself. I fell down or something. I don't remember it exactly. While I was playing football in school, I didn't even know about diet that time. After I got to know about diet, I got better. But even that time, where I didn't do so much well, but I still kept on running. Might have gotten a little bit of hurt, but I still kept on pushing through it. This mental toughness is something that's very necessary to do that certain thing we want to achieve. Because when we have that mental toughness from inside, we are going to do it as much as we have to do it. Mental toughness is going to make us perform that activity for the longer amount of hours. Another thing David Goggins did was from 300 lbs to 191 or 192 lbs, he had to drop for his Navy SEALs. He wasn't a guy that was obese in the beginning. He was in Air Force. He was like good. He was good looking, like not extremely good looking like Jeff Seed and all these guys. I mean good looking like he was like you can see that guy and you can tell that he kind of is somewhat athletic. He is like not obese. You can tell that. But what he did was he was in Air Force and for 3 to 4 years he was like I won't do any training. I'll just sit in home. I'll just sit at the couch and I'll get fat. I don't care about what happens to me. I'm going to just keep on eating. And his weight bounced to 300 lbs. And after this, yeah, uh, where was I at? I was at David Goggins, and he was 300 lbs. After the 3 to 4 years of like him not caring about where he's at, and he was like that big fat guy that looks like a strongman, but that didn't train to be a strongman. That just ate and got fat. He looks like that. And what he did was, in 2 months to get back to the Navy SEAL, he had to lose 106 pounds. 300 lbs is approximately 136 kg, and he had to go from there to 82 to 86 kg in 2 months. Approximately 48 to 52 kilograms that he had to lose to get into the Navy SEALs. For his height of 6'1 or 6'2, he had to get till that weight and given time of 2 months. He did insane amounts of cardio for that. He had to lose almost 48 to 52 kilograms in 2 months. He had that for doing it. He had the mental toughness for performing that activity for the longer hours. But is it safe to do that? He had to get to a Navy SEAL thing. For him, it's different. But for what I am telling, is it safe to do that? Is it safe to lose so much of weight unless and until we are overweight in that short period of time? For me, what I'm going to tell is it's not safe. When we are not like completely overweight, like our BMI is not above 30 or 28, only in a given time of 1 to 2 weeks, we'll lose 5 to 10 kg if we are too much overweight. It will be water weight. But if we try to lose so much of weight in lesser amount of time, what will happen is our body, it won't only lose fat, it will lose muscle, water, and fat. If we lose muscle, water, and fat, we lose weight. We won't get six pack abs and shredded veins all around. We won't be looking shredded, completely shredded. We'll look like we have lost weight, but we have lost muscle too. If we lose too much weight in a certain period of time. So we have to lose half to 1 kg in certain period of time and eat the correct nutrition to back it up, to eat enough protein and enough fats, enough carbs, half to 1 kg per week and get to that weight slowly, like 2 to 4 months. If we have to lose like 8 to 10 kg.
Okay, so in this mental toughness thing, remember this. In this mental toughness, what you guys need to be like is to like, if you know that you're smart and you actually have to work hard to actually learn this thing. No matter how much smart you are, you have to practice that and remember that. Similarly, no matter how fast you are, to get better in it, you have to keep practicing more to run faster, to do that running or anything. Even the working out thing, even the editing thing. It can be the animation, it can be the anything. We have to work more on it. We have to do more work on it to get better at it. So, just like when we are out on a shore and we fall down into that watery area or something, and we are like, no matter how fast I am able to, have to go to that ground, and as soon as I go up to that ground from this water, I'll be able to walk. I'll be able to live again. So whenever we are working, we have to pretend that as if we fell into that water and we have to go to the ground. That much seriously and fastly we go to that ground, right? Similarly, we have to work like that in whichever area we are working. And when we work like that, we keep our complete efforts in any work we are doing. So we have to do that to work more good, to put our complete effort. Not like you are actually fell into the water. You are just imagining that it's like that so that you can work more seriously in whichever work you are doing.
But David Goggins still looks good because he stopped working out and all of a sudden he started worked out. Um, and in a certain period of time, he started looking good because he kept on working out after he went to the Navy SEALs. He might have followed good diet after coming to that 82 or 86 pounds, but getting to 50, losing 50 kg almost like in 1 to 2 months, he must have eaten a banana or he must have eaten some brown rice or something else, and he would have been like, I'm going to do intense amount of activity and I'm going to lose weight. Next thing that you have to do is go to people that are smarter than you, that are like, they actually, even if you want to hire someone, go to someone, you can do that too. But if everything is already available for free, why would we want to hire someone? It's like we get people, like we go to a certain area and we ask someone to teach us something, we get them. You guys can do it however they want, but if you go to people that are more experienced, you'll get a better guidance on how to do that certain thing. And another thing is, if you go to the people that are already experienced, it's like someone has already invented that stove to switch on that fire. But if you don't go to that guy and learn about how to make that stuff, if you have to make it, you will have to do things from the certain, you have to start it from where they have started rubbing the wood and getting the fire. You guys get my point, right? You guys have to start from the basics to the end again. But if you go to a person that knows more about it, you get the proper guidance, you get to know how you can make the stuff, and you'll just do it. It makes it a little bit easier. Like if we have proper guidance, we can perform better in whatever we are doing. And the next step is learn from what you did till now and figure out the best way of doing it. Learn from what you did till now. An example is I've created my own diet plan. You guys can take that. The recipes weren't tasty. I knew how much of a mental toughness I had to follow that certain thing. I can't live like that forever by eating it. So I thought of a tastier, healthier, and sustainable way of creating that diet plan and created it. I've already told you guys about it in a lot of my videos. Similarly, you guys figure out a better and easier way of doing it so that you can perform it easier for a longer period of time. You won't be feeling like it's there for so long. You shouldn't feel boring doing it. You should enjoy doing it. That's it. The next thing that you have to do is go to good people. Don't go to the person like who knows that you're fat. You know that you're fat. That guy knows that you're fat, but you want to go and work out. You want to go and diet. That guy is like, you don't look fat. You just wear bigger clothes. You wear another clothes. You won't look fat. But you know that you're fat. Whichever cloth you're wearing is fat. You look fat. You actually want to change. You actually want to train and follow the diet to get fit. Don't go to that guy. Go to someone who gets you motivated to do that certain thing. You want to study, another guy comes and tells that, why are you studying? You know that you're already smart. Let's go and watch TV. Let's go to some movie. Let's go play out something. Don't go to that guy. Go to someone and talk to that certain someone that will motivate you to do the task. The next thing that you have to do is you should work sincerely in whichever work you're doing to get that consistency. I'm telling this from my own 3 years of experience. Whenever I followed my diet properly and got shredded, it was not only the thing that was the diet and the training. I even study too. I even do the things that I have to do. So I even had to study sincerely to get that consistency. To get the consistency in the diet and training, I had to study sincerely. So whenever you do your work sincerely, you automatically get that consistency to follow the diet and training to follow the diet and training properly. Uh, I understood it from I just analyzed it. Um, these are the only things that I can like analyze and tell you guys that have. These are the only things that I can analyze and tell you guys that I had like in my life to get successful. See, success can be anything. Success doesn't only mean earning money from what you're doing. If you are earning money from what you're doing, it's really good. It has to be for a longer period of time, and it takes very long. And I'm not even at the age of earning money or something. For me, success is creating something that can make people's life better. My videos are like that. The content I create is like that. Uh, I see something, the similarity between me and that anime character, what they have done, what I have done, how I have applied and remembered those things in my life. And another thing I do is the diet plan, the training plan that I invented that are followable for getting better result in an easier way. You don't have to do this, do that, do this, do that, and do it. You just have to do it to get it easier. The diet plan and the training plan that I created are like that, and even my videos are like that. They motivate people to live. Anime in general motivates me to live and keep on doing what I'm doing. So the content I create, the Instagram captions I keep after my pictures, showcasing my progress, everything is to make people's life better. That's the thing that we do, right? Take an example of a social, math, or English teacher. What they do is from childhood they keep on studying some subjects. After that they do PhD or something in that subject or that certain thing, and they start teaching it to the kids so that the kids' life gets better. That's what happens in schools, colleges, or social media, YouTube, anything. Similarly, my work is like that, but it doesn't have to be a written exam. It has to be applicable in your life. Applicable in a sense, like if you follow the diet, you'll find it easier to follow than the other diet plans, and if um, and you'll get healthy doing it. If you follow the training plan, you'll get stronger and leaner faster. If you watch from the videos and do it, you will understand how to perform that work in your life. In whichever field you are, you'll understand how to perform that work. Because in my thing, you don't give up, and if you apply Bhagavad Gita and anime, it keeps on motivating you and getting you to the track, and it will uh, it will make you keep on doing that work, and it will make you improve in any field you are. But you shouldn't stop working, not stop watching my videos, and you have to understand them and be smart how to apply them and the knowledge, etc. too. Okay, so the next thing that comes in is I'll tell you about an anime thing that actually made me work hard. Like that motivates me. Another anime that motivates me, and I have watched its entire thing. It's Hajime no Ippo, and I have watched all 3 seasons of it. It has almost 76 episodes, and I read the manga till the guy that was in the season 2 or 3 from another country. He came to fight Ippo, uh, and it was very difficult match in the time. And again, he came to fight him. He had good training. I have watched it till then. Watched it till then, till Takamura wins his belt, championship belt. Throughout that entire championship, he wins the belt. And I have read the manga till that friend comes to fight Ippo from that other country or state, as far as I remember. Uh, the author of Hajime no Ippo is Joji Morikawa. A guy known as Ippo Makunoichi is the main character of this anime. He is a featherweight competitor. Uh, he is from Kamegawa Gym, featherweight JBC championship. So, we were at Hajime no Ippo. Another thing about Ippo is he started boxing to try and answer one simple question: what does it mean to be strong? Since then, he has formed a rivalry with Ichiro Miyata, Takeshi Sendo, Ryo Mashiba, and a brotherly bond with Mamoru Takemura, Masaru Aoki, Tatsuyu Kimura. And he had a deep trust for his coach, Genji Kamagawa. See, Hajime no Ippo is like this cool thing. In Dragon Ball, they shoot laser beams. It's kind of laser beams. They call it ki that comes out of from within them. They go Super Saiyan. They get yellow. Not many can do that, right? So Hajime no Ippo is an anime that seems like we can do it in real life. We can train like him. We can get stronger through our training, and we can be like that. Hajime no Ippo is the anime that seems like we can be like that. That's because he's just a person that trains with his basic strength. He builds up from the very beginning, and he works hard, strives to work hard from the beginning to get stronger from where he's at. through the training that they actually do. Even involves a very good storyline and comedy. It has comedy. It has a comedic sense while the Tagamura and this guy are talking, Ippo, and the other two, Ishido and this his coach are there. It even involves comedy. It's watchable content that's very interesting to watch, and it goes in a pace that it never bores us. We are always looking up. We are always looking up for what's going to happen next. So it's a really really good anime, and I watched the manga only till a certain point. I stopped it because it was too lengthy. I wanted to read something else, and I stopped it at. I told you where I stopped it. So who did Ippo have? Ippo was raised by his mother, uh, Hikoro Makunoichi, for majority of his childhood because Ippo's father, Kazuo Makunoichi, died in his early childhood. His dad, like the thing that was there, right? That boat was crashed in the storm, and his dad died. During the time when his father was missed out of the sea, Hippo went every day to the shore to wait for his return so that his father's words are true and he'll come to him and his mom again. Although his father never returned, Hippo was able to satisfy himself that his father fulfilled his promise by finding his cap that his father wore. After his father died, Hippo grew up in assisting his mom. In the beginning episodes, we see Hippo. Um, this man is just going out of his school or college that is studying, and what he's doing is he's just going out of there so that he can do some work. He might be on his way home. We see three or four people ganging upon him and bullying him. Then he wasn't able to defend himself. Then a great boxer, uh, almost the guy that's famous in the whole Japan, that guy comes in and he's just like doing his footwork. Footwork is like he's moving around in a boxing ring, how they move like that. He was moving around and he was like uh, might be doing some punching stances, and he sees this guy being bullied. Tagamura noticed his well-built body and his strength, and uh, he wanted him to defend himself when someone ganged upon him. After that, he punched a heavy bag so hard that the skin on his knuckle and fingers area, it got torn, and he wanted him to defend himself. And he gave him a video compilation of Mike Tyson's knockouts so that he'll be like more motivated. He will be like, yeah, I can fight. See, if we see some people working out, if we see some people studying with good music around it, and uh, they are like really, really doing it very good at a high, and they are at a higher level than us, we feel like doing it. We are kind of motivated, right? So Tagamura must have given it to motivate him, and this well-built body strength of this Hajime no Ippo is because what Hajime no Ippo did was he carries those fish things. They do the fish sales thing, their family with his mom. So he carries those around him that helped him improve his leg strength and his stability. And he stands on a moving board that improved his balance. This was somewhat of a strongman training that he did to make him stronger. Strongmen do the same things, right? They take heavy things and keep it at a different places. I don't know the exact training that they do, but it's somewhat similar to this. Uh, Even Deku did that. Deku did that when All Might wanted him to inherit that hair so that he can get that superpower of that one for all, and he his body doesn't completely blast off when he uses that quirk. If his body is strong enough, it won't blast off by the energy generated by that quirk to destroy the certain thing that's there in front of that person, whichever direction he aims at. That strength. In that also, Deku was asked to do strongman training kind of to take heavier things from a place to another place. So he carries fish things with him. So he keeps on lifting things and putting it at a different place. So that's also somewhat of a strongman training that he did even before joining the Kamegawa gym, even before meeting Takamura. That must have given him the base strength to hit the punching bag so hard. So he tells him that he wants to be a professional boxer, he wants to join the Kamegawa gym and all these things, but Takamura was like, "You are a guy that I just met. Why would I completely take you in the gym?" He was somewhat like that, and he gave him a task to complete. And if he successfully completes the task, he will be allowed to train with him in the gym, um, in the boxing gym, Kamegawa gym. So what he said was, he bet a tree and leaves keep on falling down from it, and he wanted him to catch those leaves as they fall, and if he catches those leaves, 10 of them, he will be allowed to be in the training with him in the gym. He wasn't able to do it at once. He was given a certain amount of time to do that. So it was because another thing that's there is, when we normally make a fist and we hit the a certain bag or something, what happens is we just hit that bag. Uh, but if we almost, our hand is flexed as fast as we can, and while we are hitting that bag, we flex the fist, our hit is more harder. So this training is also acquired through Ippo catching that leaves, that certain amount of leaves in that as soon as they fall from the tree. So after almost a week or two, what happens to Ippo is he catches all the 10 leaves uh, as soon as they start falling from the tree, and Tagamura allows him to train in the gym. Okay, so what are the boxing things that I have done? We were at Ipo catching those 10 lifts and Takamura allowing him to start boxing training in his gym. And what are the boxing things that I have tried? I started out after 10th board exams in 11th by beating the wall. I had that mental toughness then. I used to beat the wall till my hand was bleeding, and I still used to beat the wall. Uh, I used to do that for approximately 5 to 30 minutes. I just wanted to like get the knuckle strength. I just wanted to get stronger. So I kept on beating the wall, and I brought in my house. I requested punching bag that was like 2 to 7 kgs. After beating the wall till my hands were bleeding for almost 1 to 4 weeks, and I got that punching bag and I was practicing with that punching bag, and after that uh, I was using gloves after that. I was using gloves to hit a almost 10 kg punching bag that was very heavy in the gym. And after using gloves, I didn't use gloves. I started using the things that we wrap around the arm, or not arm, the knuckle and the wrist area. And from almost 10 minutes to 5 minutes of hitting the bag, in 3 years, I went to 30 minutes of hitting the bag. I even have the recording of a few minutes that I bet that bag. I was able to beat it hard, and now I am able to beat it without wrapping those things around my wrist for almost 30 minutes, approx 30 minutes. So in this series, we see Hajime no Ippo doing punching bag work. Punching bag work. He keeps hitting the heavy punching bag to increase the power of his punch and to increase his stamina of the punches. After this, Hippo does shadow boxing. Shadow boxing, he visualizes the opponent as if he is actually in front of him, and he starts doing that certain moves that they try to hit an opponent in an actual match. Even Gohan might have done this shadow training thing in Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Super. He might have done it. I remember it like little bit because Dragon Ball Super is over and I'm reading the manga of that. Uh, Shadow boxing, what it does is it's kind of like a cardio, and yeah, it's kind of like a cardio. It also helps in improving stamina. And another thing that he uses is road road running. Road running. His coach, uh, what it does is he goes on the bike and he has to run as fast as the bike or more faster than the bike. What this does is when he keeps on moving in the ring, in the boxing ring, it helps in maintaining his stamina. Because if he after this we see Ipo actually sparring someone because sparring actually what it does is it helps in knowing how much distance we should maintain when certain person like actually attacks us, when we should dodge it, when we should uh, attack, how much like strength he has to apply, all these things. He learns it through sparring, and another thing that he does to improve his footwork is he does skipping. Another thing that Ipo does is he does sand work. Sorry, not sand work. He runs in the sand, in the beach, with his other people that are with him. Running in sand is a bit difficult because the leg goes inside the sand and you have to take it out. It requires some of that, what do we call it? A lot of strength to take it out of the sand and again keep the leg forward. He and his the ones he has in the boxing gym, other three of them, including Takamura, all of them run in the sand. And the other thing that Ipo is famous for is a guy known as Jax MC actually did it in real life. It must have been taken from that to Hajime no Ippo. That is known as Dempsey roll. Dempsey roll is something he keeps his legs in a bending position and his hips move forward and he swings in a form of 8. As he swings in a form of 8, he gathers the momentum to throw his left and right punch ongoing like non-stop so that the other person falls down. To hit at a rapid pace, it creates the momentum. But it only worked until they figured out a big weakness of it. And Ipo, what he did was he evolved the Dempsey roll into something by overtraining his legs and with tires on his back while running. And by doing some other thing, he overtrained it and he shouldn't do it for a longer time, the Dempsey roll, or else it can be dangerous. There was something like that said to him. And another thing that he does is he does pistol squats with weights on him. So I just gave you guys an overview of what Ipo does, like in training.
Okay, so the thing about Ipo is what he does is we see, I it's just like there are many fights going on. He wants to win a championship. He starts out as a boxer. As he starts out as a boxer, a lot of things keep happening. He keeps learning a lot of things from different boxers and from his coach in Kamegawa gym. It's a story in which he keeps on progressing, and we want to watch. We want to know what happens next because each boxer comes out with a unique things that Ipo finds harder to fight against, and he has to strategize it. An actual boxing thing. It's kind of like an actual boxing thing. Fights keep going on, and you want to keep on watching it. So Ipo is like watchable, very interesting. And as you see Ipo losing and winning, as he keeps on losing and winning, and he doesn't want to lose the next match. He keeps training more harder. His training movements and his shy, kind nature that he shows towards everyone, you really, really like that, and it motivates you because it's an anime that has shown a very good character development of all the characters in the series. When you see characters develop from a tiny person to almost a very good person that's like champion level, you are connected so much to that character that uh, you feel the character, you want the character to win, you want the character to do more great things. And if you train, you are seriously focused into something. Ipo is something that you must watch because Ipo was seriously focused into boxing, and how he became a good boxer through going through all the fights in the series and making good bonds with the people he met is everything about Ipo. Go watch Hajime no Ippo, it's the best thing ever. So that's it for the video, guys. I have explained how to be successful in life and somewhat about boxing, and I've even told you about Hajime no Ippo. I told more about cardio boxing. I do it in form of cardio in my cardio video.